Here's Maradona, and England have contained him pretty well so far. This looking dangerous. That's a poor clearance. Maradona with Shilton. Looked like handball, that. Maradona celebrating, and the goal's going to be given. Shilton furious, and so is Peter Reid. And the England manager, Bobby Robson, can't believe it.
It was a bit of an ordeal in one way, because I was only 17, although I'd had first team experience because I played a number of games in the first team when I was an apprentice, before I signed as a professional when I was 17, because in those days they didn't postpone the England matches when there was a club game on, so Gordon was away playing for England and I actually had a few games and did quite well, and there were one or two clubs kind of looking at me. Even though I was just 17, and I think there was a situation where, you know, Leicester had to make a decision whether to sell Gordon or keep me, or vice versa. And I think it would have been easier for me maybe to have been sold, but they took the long-term view of the club, and obviously, you know, I ended up with the pressure of taking over from England and the world's greatest goalkeeper at the time. Well, the first 3 years out of 5 was like a dream come true. You couldn't imagine it, and you couldn't write the script because, for obvious reasons, I think we were 7th in the league after 7 games when I joined them. I just got relegated at Stoke City, and I had sort of started the season at Stoke and then got transferred to Forest. And we ended up winning the league that year, which is now the Premier League. Having finished 3rd the season before, just scraping up, it was incredible. And then on the back of that, to go and win 2 European Cups, League Cups, 2 League Cups and Super Cup, and playing the World Club Championship was incredible. The greatest moment at club level for me, it was the first one we won was in Munich, and we beat Malmo, who were a very disciplined side. They'd won most games 1-0, Swedish team, to get to the final, and basically, you know, it wasn't a great game to play in. It was very much defensive from their point of view. Even when we were 1-0 down with about 5 minutes to go, they were still not pushing forward. So I didn't really have much to do, but to win the European Cup was great. Second one, we played against Hamburg in the Bernabeu, Real Madrid's ground, and we'd got injuries, we'd had a long season, and we were underdogs really, and we beat them 1-0, and it was a total contrast from my point of view because I had a really good game that night, and the defence was, as a team, was magnificent, and basically we scraped to win out of it, and to win it back to back was, you can't describe it. Under Brian Clough and Peter Taylor, you never celebrated anything in the way that I see a lot of teams doing. I see in the dressing room after games, screaming and shouting, champagne going all over. I mean, it was very much, you've done your jobs, lads. You know, obviously we went back to Nottingham and there was unbelievable celebrations on the coach to the town hall. We had the big square there, was packed full of people, and we went on the balcony, and that was the celebration. It wasn't so much, you know, the players having a load to drink and going back with hangovers and that sort of thing. We were expected to have the blazers and ties on and look professional, and that's just the way the club was run. Well, for me it was always an ambition, because when I was at Leicester, even as a youngster, you know, they tried to sign me. When Peter Taylor and Brian Clough, when they were at Derby, and of course when Brian Clough was at Leeds, he tried to sign me when he had that uneventful 40-odd days or whatever it was. But to me it was him and Peter Taylor in particular, because Peter Taylor was a goalkeeper himself, and he was very underrated. He told me that he used to come and watch me when I played for the Leicester youth team on Saturday mornings. He used to be stood there. He said, "You didn't know I was there." He said, "But I was there every game watching you." and he had a lot of respect for me. And so it was a dream come true to play for those two, because they had what I call a unique style of management, you know, and from the word go, it was just success after success. I do, because a lot of people say, oh, they couldn't handle the foreign press and media, but Brian Clough himself used to have, when we won the European Cups, and he had press conferences abroad, you know, he's had them in Germany, you name it, and he had the press eaten out of his hand, because I liked him a little bit to Jose Mourinho in the modern game. You know, he had that little bit of character, and they could relate to his honesty, and yeah, he would have made a great England manager.